stream. I believe that means we're over the heap that is 76. Yeah, that's how numbers work.
Totally.
Um, Today we have Valley Claw.
Howdy, howdy. And
And
some.
and yeah, well, at
Living
least
dead.
most
No.
of me. There's my arm back over in the other room.
Oh. Did you find your foot yet?
You know what? I got a leg up on that investigation, but never got the foot.
Uh, 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 so
Oh.
terrible.
Wait, we show ads now? Do we get paid for
Yeah.
that?
We can, but they haven't opened their partner program yet. They're just testing the ads right now.
Ah, because I would like to make 3 cents.
I know, right?
That would be incredible. Although,
We,
I mean, I just made £5, so we're doing
yeah, you can buy something real Irish.
good. I'm gonna have to split it with Ali at BronyCon this year.
We have to find the most Irish vendor. They'll take it.
I think we should. Crispy, would you be offended if I try and buy art with that money?
No, far away.
Yes.
I totally mean to actually send Ali something as well, but just haven't got around to actually arting anything.
Oh, she won't gotta do me nothing. You're just great to have around.
That won't stop him from sending stuff just because he doesn't have to. I mean, I don't have to breathe, but I choose to do it anyway.
But breathing's necessary, Zom. I've been telling you this.
Not if you're a zombie. Alright, so today's art.
Horses.
Oh, nay, they are.
Actually, not colorful horses.
Not a single piece of colored art yet. You know what that
That's
means.
right.
We accept art for critiquing. If you throw it at us, we will critique it for you. Or if you have questions, we will critique those questions instead of answering. No, we'll answer the questions.
You should have had a comma in your question. Maybe think about that next time.
I don't know how to follow this up. Oh, we should have done a mic check before because I'm way too loud.
Dun dun dun.
That's a bit better. Okay, so first picture we're gonna do is gonna be this Twilight because it's the biggest one here, and bigger is always better, right?
Absolutely.
There's truth
What should I
behind.
say?
Well, okay. There's truth behind this because if you draw on a big canvas, you're gonna have a better time until it's too big that your computer can't handle it.
Mm-hmm.
But this looks like traditional. And on traditional, you shouldn't be drawing little peanut-sized images. Try and get the biggest piece of paper you can and do that.
Mm-hmm. It helps you with the line control and just all around better movement and smoother lines, and you can get better detail. It's just better overall.
Although I did run into a problem. The watercolor sheets, those pages are kind of expensive if you're buying, like, you're trying to get the weird, interesting ones. So it's cheaper at the 8x5 than the 9x11s.
You know, okay, funny side thing that could be worth a checkout if people want to find cheaper watercolor. So basically, I was at this art store, like they sell and frame art, but what they did was they had stacks and stacks and stacks of the board they framed some art with. You know how sometimes there's like a thick cold pressed board in the frame to like hold the art down? Well, they have all these innards and cutouts and stuff, and I got like a big old stack, a pile of it for like $2. So it's like really, really good thick paper to do watercolors on, and it was really cheap.
Oh, wow.
So check your framing stores, see if they like do that, because they like had it in little bags near like the discount area. It's pretty awesome find.
I think Torsten has sent us a picture.
More art.
Oh, we're gonna quickly... No, we're gonna do Torsten's first. We're gonna shift gears here.
Sounds good.
Why? Because they're here. And we always believe in helping the people here first.
Yes. It's nice to have a back and forth.
I just gotta edit sizes. Make sure it fits my canvas. Oh, cool. Edit. Alright, it's gonna go right there. Now we should add some layers because we always forget those.
Yes. Howdy, Salami.
Hello. All right, so let's look into this. Any questions before we jump into the critique? Whoa.
Guess I should choose a different blue since Rainbow Dash is in that picture.
But rainbows kind of ruin choosing many colors.
It's true. At least she only has a little green. Let's choose green.
So it looks like they're using a texture layer to do a lot of their, well, texture work.
It could be because I know some programs you can turn on what kind of paper, I'm doing air quotes, you can work on. Like some have pre-textured, paper, or it could be a brush that has the texture repeating and it has a bad tile to it because it's very tileable.
Yeah, you see the repeated image over and over and over. And it's actually a little distracting. I know what they're going for, but I think the texture's either too small or the fact that it's the way it repeated itself is just taking away from the quality of the image.
Plus the fact that the texture is not everywhere, so it feels a bit off. Like if you were, say, doing a watercolor, you would see, the texture through the watercolor over everything, not just like the shades and such. Chalk? Okay. So I think, yeah, something that maybe feels a little weird is that there is both chalk and not chalk. At least that's something that's throwing me off slightly. Because it feels like some parts are very solid compared to others.
Yeah, like most of Fluttershy except for the shading thrown on the leg.
But it could also be the fact that they're light colors, so we don't see the white of the page as much as we would on the dark colors. Because I do see it a little in the hair, the little white poking through.
I don't know. The tail is missing that faded element that you get from that chalk brush. Like you can see segments in the blue like over here if you zoom in where it does have that solid quality, but the rest is overtaken by the texture.
I see some texture in the tail, like here and here.
I don't know. I don't think it's working quite as well as, because it's honestly a little distracting on the image. The how different it is. I think I've overturned. Oh, okay. All right. So, what I think the answer might be here is if that was the chalk brush doing it, there's no way of correcting the chalk brush as it is, because it's already down. It's not like a textured layer put on where you can edit the texture on the layer and it'll adjust the entire layer itself. But what you can do is you can go in with like a blur tool and just try and take out a bit of the punch of the texture that it's applying. Because texture's great, repeated pattern is not. Repeated pattern seems too mechanical, too unorganic. And if you're going for that organic feel of a chalk brush, then you definitely don't want that repeated texture hanging around there. You want something, well, more organic, right?
Mm-hmm. And the other downside to a repeated pattern, unless you mean it to be there, humans actually we're drawn to patterns very quickly, which is why it's a bit distracting when it pokes out there, especially because it feels like there's the texture it gives, but it doesn't feel like it's over the entire image, so it doesn't blend as one. It's just like spots with very repeatable patterns.
So I have a question about the obvious difference in pony sizes here. What's the story here? Is Dash like a little foal or something? It doesn't look like she's lying down. Her legs are, well, she seems to be upright sitting. Or is in your canon that Fluttershy is just Godzilla compared to her? If you have a pic you'd like critiqued, toss it towards us and we'll get it done. Yeah. Well, Allie made it a little lewd.
It's just an emote.
Alright, that's just smaller.
Shorter. So right now, I'm getting very much a mother-child vibe going on. I don't know, that's just because Fluttershy always seems like a mother figure to me. Just because her soft look and face.
The way she's wrapped around her. Because the shorter you have going on right now is almost half the height of Fluttershy.
Because what I'm seeing for proportions, I'll just draw. So this is your head, this is your chest, and this is your lower body. She's packing in the trunk.
But Rainbow Dash also has these massive hips going on too.
So we have RD. So like, this is why we kind of see the age difference, just because of how different the proportions are. I know we've seen shorter ponies, but this is a very extreme size change. So they don't feel the same age at all, especially because the size of the head and face. And just how proportions are with that. Like Dash's is very squished down. Doesn't really have a forehead, and Fluttershy has a nice forehead. Okay.
Well, if that was the goal, then you have pulled it off.
Definitely. We just wanted to make clear what you were trying to do, that's all.
Yeah, it's generally bad if... Because we have no context to the picture, there's no text to go with it. We're asking these questions to make sure our critique is accurate.
We don't want to tell you to size up the proportions if they're meant to be, different scales.
Alright, so beyond the proportions, the length of Fluttershy's tail is almost comical, like using like anime where they give a fox a hilarious massive tail. That's the actual length of Fluttershy, is her tail right now. In the show, tail's maybe half the length of a body?
She does have a pretty big tail for all the ponies. Out of all the ponies.
It's true.
But not that big. Yeah,
but that thing would be dragging on the ground, and the two ponies behind her would be like riding on it. now that's an adorable image. Okay.
Gonna have to draw it.
Yep. Just someone sleeping on her tail being pulled along. Okay, it's gonna be Angel Bunny. I do like your line. Your line work is very, very neat and clear.
Definitely.
I do have a question about how your legs are shaped. So when you do the hip here, getting it down, and the body would be going somewhere here. You'd have the rest of that leg there. Your next part of the leg is this very short, almost bunny-like thing going on here. So if we're to take that and make it into a standing pose, we'd be getting something where that leg is corgi. Yeah, it'd be like a corgi. It'd have
Corgis are adorable.
just this big thing going on.
I feel like someone's drawn the main 6 as corgis, and it's adorable.
I've seen that picture. So my suggestion to try and avoid this very short leg feeling would be just elongate these legs right here. So you can do that through 2 ways, by making it taller on it. That'll give it a feeling of being longer. Or you can actually make it physically longer. Whoop. That's going to help even out the length of, or the size of the hip a bit.
Sitting in front view.
You mean like directly in front of them? So it's aligning to the viewer, not turning left or right from it. Oh, looks like Allie's doing it down here. Boom.
This is like doodles of it, but you can refine, you know, how they would go. Simple, simple. And since ponies don't normally sit like this, like if you look up actual horses sitting, they would never sit like this. I'd look up cats or dogs. They tend to sit more like that than ponies ever would.
Do 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 do.
Yeah, a lot of the ways the show has the ponies sitting or like laying and stuff is more based on cats and dogs than actual horses. But I will say, if you want a good movement pose out of like a pony, definitely look up horses running or trotting or whatever movement you're looking for. Horses definitely bring better movement feel, but you can also use horse or cats and dogs. It's very flexible. Like any kind of quadruped. Except, like, maybe a corgi. Unless you want to draw corgi ponies with tiny hooves, like a Shetland pony. That's what they're called, right? The little itty-bitty miniatures.
Yes. Now I just want to run a corgi ponies. Corgi MLP. Oh my gosh. They're so adorable.
You have to share, because it's care.
Sharing is caring. Wait, voice chat. And I guess not voice chat.
That's adorable.
Book on head. Book. Head book.
Too adorable. I don't know why, but Applejack makes me think of, like, Stitch.
Yeah, okay.
That, like, it's the expression and the head tilt. But yeah, if you have any other questions for us, concerns, what's your favorite pony?
This is always an important question. All right, shall we move on to the next one?
If there's nothing left, I believe so.
All right, well, we got a submission from another user.
More art.
Art. Oh my gosh. No, okay, well, we have space here.
Ooh, intro.
Now, you might recognize the eyes, because they do such good eyes.
Damn pretty eyes.
Like, you just get lost in your pony eyes. These pants right here, make so much sense in the MLP universe. If you're gonna have permanent butt tattoos.
Might as well show them off.
Yeah.
Pants with windows. What? That could be a thing.
That is a thing, and it's a totally not safe for work thing.
Damn it, sounds off.
All right. Salami, any questions?
Anything in particular you wanted help with?
Also, is Spitfire running a school for ponies?
I think Derby just has a crush.
Ah.
So legs. Anther legs are hard. Especially horse anther legs. I've been like, if you look up a lot of furry stuff, like, there's many ways to interpret them. They just like, 'cause they have that bend that we don't have, because the way their structure is, because their toe is like as big as our foot.
Yeah. References. Isn't that what our usual shtick is? No,
Pretty
but
much.
it might be a reason to hop onto like Fur Affinity and just start looking at horses and turning on your safe filter.
Yes.
But there's, as Ellie was saying, many different ways of doing it. Don't try and just say I can only do this one because it's very MLP style. Totally not needed.
Like, a lot of the time you see people stretch the legs out, really like form it with like human and a horse. Makes anther horses like really tall, but you get the idea. I'm trying to actually. What?
Keep pencil
What?
case.
That's adorable. It makes me feel like we're salmon swimming upstream, but it's the tail. That's so dang adorable.
Sorry, we got distracted by cute pictures. Other cute pictures. Just cute pictures were really distracting for us.
Too much distract. But yeah, right now I'm looking up. I'm trying to see if I can find like a nice anther reference that I can use myself because I have trouble just because like, especially like, with the bend with the hawk and like sort of lifting your leg up, how you have it. It's difficult to picture.
These two
I need
legs
to.
are different lengths.
Mhm.
That might be one of the reasons we're having issues here. I think if you
Oh
just...
hey!
What's up?
I found someone do the thing for horse. Hold on, let me just.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed this, but they did more than just, a leg attached to a hip. This
Mhm.
pony actually has a butt.
Booty.
Like, there's the second chunk of meat back there for a butt cheek. Well done.
I clap.
I clap in your general direction.
So this is the thing I'm posting is very horse like leg, but oops, pardon me for hitting my mic. It's a great guide, I think, just like a nice breakdown, especially with how to bend the leg, because that's one of the harder parts is to bend the leg.
That is a very nice... Yeah. I like that. Might not...
Horses.
For everyone who can't see, who somehow, for other reasons, watching this is the reference. Of course, it disappears when I talk about it. Reference. So how would you take that and pull it over to the other horse here?
Just give her a joint she's missing.
Must not.
Oh dang, wrong layer. Can I undo enough? I cannot undo enough. How did I get back on the foreground?
Same way I did. Don't worry. We got two other ponies to compare against.
Okay, good. So yeah, I added in the extra horse joints. Basically, if you look at like the example I posted, they pretty much have a human thigh, and then it goes into like a more horse-like shin and foot. So instead of having like the super like curvular and then the small hock in the back, like MLP ponies have, it's kind of stretched out to help with like the antherness. Because you look at anthers, it's kind of like they're off all fours. They need to be more balanced. So everything's kind of pulled and stretched to be a little less like I'm trying to think like MLP ponies. Boom. You got like the super thigh and then the hawk and the boot. Oh, not the eraser. Change.
Super
Boom,
Thigh
boom.
sounds like an action hero.
Super thigh. But yeah, so it's like less scrunched up as they walk regularly and more, spread out. Boom.
Does that help you any bit, Salami? Sweet.
Whoop, whoop.
Your hands Well, the fingers are very petite on your pony. It's kind of weird to me, but I'm not quite sure what you're going for on them. Because you have basically rectangular hands here. Boop, boop, boop. As opposed to, rounded. But hands suck. Like, humans just love to point out issues with hands.
Hands are hard.
Good thing you just tend to have two of them, so you have good references on hand.
Haha. Hand on hand. The other thing I would just say be careful of is that when doing your finger lengths, you kind of like here I'll just go to this derby. So I'm looking at this hand. Basically, your middle finger is your longest finger, yet the finger next to it seems to be about the same length. When this finger, like the finger next to your middle finger, both of them are about the same size. Like I'm just looking at my hand for reference right now. So it's just like little things like that to keep in mind, like really think about when before you draw. Looking at your own hand, be like, okay, so this digit and this digit about the same size. Compare them to each other. It's you have your tool right next to you. It's a lot of observation, really staring at something. You want to spend like 50% of the time looking at the references and 50% of the time drawing. That's how important like really observing your references. It's not just like a glance and a go. I mean something I've been learning myself recently is just like it really is important how long you observe and compare the reference and why something is there and what next to it makes it look a certain way. Looking at a hand, it's like, okay, yeah, I see that the middle finger is the longest and the two next to it are sort of the same height, and your thumb does weird angle things that you don't really quite consider how it bends, and then it's weird and you move them around, and hands are hard.
So hard.
So hard. Hopefully that makes sense. I wish there was like an easy guide to hands. There's definitely ways to break them down. It's all about making simple shapes in the end, but hands are always going to be that hard thing. Any other questions in particular for your cutie derp horse? The shading. I really got no issue on the shading. It's good cell shading. Just a little bit. You can tell she's a very brightly lit pony, which is totally fine. You got anything, Zom?
Just looking over it to make sure no bits are missed. No, it's not really catching anything that I'd consider missed. Yeah, as Ali said, yeah. Big wide light on that one. Hi, Fluffy.
Oh, we got a sneaky Fluffy joining with the buzz. What's the buzz, Fluffy? Haha.
He's tattooing right now. Okay then. Your shading balance, it's fine. Yeah.
If you want to try like different angles and more extreme lights, I'd say go for it. If you're always worried about balancing it, think of like, okay, I have a singular light that's going to be directly to her left. Play with that, because sometimes to find balance, it's nice to play with extreme lighting angles, because then you really get the feel of where shadows will fall and not fall. Because if you look at somebody like out on a sunny day, there's not going to be that many shadows except for very sharp ones like you already have, because they're being pretty much lit at every angle, especially like high noon, something like really bright full day.
You can also try doing colors to your shading. Yeah.
Yes.
Words. And not just, hey, this is a slightly darker tone of this. I mean, actually shade with colors. I can't pull up any examples offhand because I don't have them. Shading with colors is cool. All right, shall we move on to the next one then?
I think so. But overall, I'd say it's super cute derp.
Dun, dun, dun. Twilight, back to Twilight. I would like to take a quick intermission and remind everyone that there is an Eggie. Brought to you by Eggio. Eggie, Yeggio.
Are they sponsoring us?
Eggio. If we say it 10 million times, we might possibly get a thumbs up.
Oh.
I know.
I'll give you a thumbs up for free.
I'll give you 2.
Wow, what a deal.
I know. I am horrible at making deals, apparently. Because I've only got 1 thumbs up out of this, and I spent 2 to get there. It's...
Well, don't you have like a bucket of thumbs since they keep falling off?
Well... Okay. That sound disappeared. Yes.
The Night of the Living Fuzzy Fuzz.
How'd you know my name? Okay, on to the next one then. We got the Twilight. And this Twilight is... Purple Book Horse. Purple Book Horse. They've been here a few times before. About 5 or 6. Maybe even 7. Not quite sure. This should be the latest image they submitted, complete with neck. And it looks like some modifications to the face. Cool.
Cool.
Whoops. Which layer am I on? Good.
Sorry, one moment, just gotta respond to important text.
It's for me. Hello? Can you hear me?
Gosh dang it.
Do.
Okay, I'm back. Let's do this.
Was it
Ooh,
super,
you've been
super
busy.
cool? I've been drawing pictures of horses, which might be my third
Pictures.
favorite thing to do.
What's the first two?
Breathing and eating.
You know what? Both good choices.
I know. That's why I chose them.
Oh, dang. Someone beat me to Nightmare Rarity, the best nightmare. I'm just gonna have to draw another Nightmare Rarity, because it's the best nightmare.
Nightmare Sweetie.
It's a really good Nightmare Rarity, though. The hair is top notch. Good shit.
Top kick. Come on.
Wait, but it's not funny, it's awesome. Okay, back to the Twilight. I need to refocus. It's one of those days where I'm really bad at focusing today. Or at least my brain is just, it can do things, but my voice is not very focused conversationally.
Dun, 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 dun. Twilight. You got the horn?
I'll do the horn, if it'll let me draw. Oh wait, I was on eraser the whole time.
Well, I mean, it was letting you draw with antiprotons.
Nega drawing.
Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum, bum. All right.
Now that song is stuck in my head.
You're welcome. All right, Purple Book Horse. Despite the fact that we've completely redrawn your picture, it's not actually bad at all. The only reason we throw all of our own ink over it because we're very vain and would like to see our own art. No. The reason we throw our own ink over is because we like to try and recreate what's going on in our own sort of way so we can properly speak it out.
Even in critique, you need undersketching. It's helpful, so why not?
And that leads me to part number 1 here. Undersketching. Unless if you have an insanely good eraser and a very, very light hand, I'm not seeing any signs of undersketching. So what is undersketching, in case you don't know what it is? Basically, it's usually going in with a very, very light touch or a very soft, very hard pencil. Hard lead means not much goes on paper. Anyway, yes. A very hard pencil, soft marks, going in and laying down a sort of skeleton of the picture. So this circle we've put in the pink and the cross that we've laid out on its face with that, wonderful things to throw in with that undersketch. It helps figure out the head shape, and we can quickly redefine it and refine it and correct it and squish it whichever ways we need. If it's not working out for us on an initial circle, we don't have to use that initial circle. We can fix it. And this is a great chance to do that because it's easy. You get to erase, no marks left, and just keep going. Then from there, depending on who you are, some people are going to throw on the rest of like a sort of skeleton of the rest of the bits, like ears and hair, just to get an idea of where everything's going to be. Others might just say, good enough, I have the base body done. We're going to go on to the next bit. It's your call, whatever you're most comfortable with. My suggestion would be do more, because doing more is better than doing too little. It's easy to erase.
Yes.
So,
plus.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, plus, if your one drawing becomes way too messy because of undersketching, that's fine. Do another one and use that one as a reference and do lighter undersketching because you're more confident where the undersketching could go. So more ponies. That's a better thing, right?
Totally.
Woo.
So, step 2 after the undersketch. Refining. We're going to go back in to that undersketch. We're going to go over some of the lines, get it defined as we actually want, doing the little corrections as we need. We're going to look at that image and go, I don't like this, I don't like that, I do really like this. And then we're going to go and do a little more refining, and then we get to the inking stage. Generally, that's my workflow.
Mm-hmm.
Is that your workflow?
It depends on how I feel. I get bored with art sometimes. It happens. That's fine. Happens with everybody. So I do like try everything. I just like I'll do something silly like I'll just use my sketches as my lines and make the colors form the real lines of my line art, or like I'll just do this thing and that thing. It just I don't know. It's fun to just try different things and try different processes and mix and match the processes and just explore art, because there's so much goddamn art and there's so many goddamn ways to do art. Why stick with one?
Yeah.
Yay, so much art. So many things to discover.
So much left to know. Okay. Now, you might be asking, so what does that all mean to my picture? With the mistakes we're seeing on your picture, such as the odd head shape and the weird positioning of the eyes, all of that would be fixed by a good undersketch and a good workflow to the rest of the end of the picture. So what I want to see you do for the next one, I want to see a picture of your undersketch first, and I want to see a picture of your refined picture next to it. Whether that means taking a picture of one at a time as you work through, or just doing more than one picture, whatever is more comfortable for you. Can we get that? I hope so. I don't know if they're going to respond. That's all I've got for this one. Just it's just the refining stage that needs to be, or just the undersketching stage so you can get to that refining bit. Alright, let's move on to the next one then. Itty bitty wingy horsey. Who's staring at the horn? This itty bitty wingy horsey is from Steam Flash. They're actually a first time visitor as far as I can tell. And they are saying the post that they make here, they're going to start making weekly, whether or not they get a lot of practice to share or not. Something along those lines. They've actually done a breakdown of their entire image and all of its steps that they've done to it, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
They do some interesting breakdowns, but they have done everything behind the pony and all the little, like, they've done both wings in their full drawing. They've done both arms in the full drawing. Everything's there, and then they refine it out, and it's really, really cool.
Yeah, it's great to see people post like that, just like show everything. But yeah, so
I don't know what they mean by KPSS style though.
KP Shadow Scroll.
How'd you get that?
KP is like a really, like, I see a lot of people try to learn from her because she like takes the show style, sort of like how NC Mares also does the same thing, but they take the show style but make it better but still keep the show style. Plus she has like 1,002 sketches with 1,003 poses, so it's really great reference material.
Fair enough. It's also so adorable. Oh my gosh. Just scrolling through their ponies and ponies and ponies, and yeah, I've actually seen a lot of their stuff. In fact, we use a lot of their stuff as referencing material here for reasons.
Reasons. They're great though. They're great. Definitely great artists to get references from. Because like I said, don't be afraid to reference, and they have like an entire catalog of poses, because they if you want to see what it takes to get good, the way they sketched all the sketches they've done, all the ponies they've drawn, that all that work they put in, and even more behind the scenes that they probably never posted, that's what it takes to like really learn to draw. Sadly, it can't just be 1 or 2 sketches. Like, it takes hard work, and they put in that hard work, and they earned their ability.
Their scrapbook must be incredible. Like, the art they decide to throw away.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so your pony. Oh geez. Your pony. I don't see issues with it. Little thing with the jawline. Whoop-de-doo, Basil. Honestly, things are looking good on it. You've done a great job trying to construct your horse, and you've done a great job with all the referencing you're using and all that. Now, your reference picture is nearly identical to this, and that's fine, TM. What I don't want you to do is become reliant on only using references that are identical to what you're trying to draw, because that's not as much as referencing as it can almost be somewhere closer towards what copying or tracing's like. Now, let's get into this discussion. You aren't making money off of this, probably aren't selling this. Tracing, copying, using having the reference beside and doing the exact same image, completely fine at this point, so long as you're making it known that this is learning at this point. This isn't original work. Mm-hmm. And this type of learning is very, very useful, because you have made a very, very faithful reproduction of that, and that construction that you've done beforehand to get it to that point has helped you, hopefully, get a solid understanding of what has to go into making that faithful reproduction of it. So, what I want to see for your next picture, I want to see a reference, and I want to see the steps that you've taken through the picture, but I want to see them not be the same image. So, say find a picture of a pony standing 90 degrees sideways, the profile shot, and then do a pony like flying or dancing or tap dance. Some type of action out of them that's not the same as what you're getting on the reference. The reference will be used so you can go and compare the sizes. So you go, cool, the head is this big to the leg. How far is it away from the ear to the eye? Things like that. Using it just to keep going back and saying, oh, good, what I'm doing is correct. Now let's keep going on to the next stage. Hope that makes sense. I wish they were here, but can't win them all. So, Ellie, do you have anything to add to that?
I really don't. You said it so perfectly.
I'm going to get that on my wall, too. You said it perfectly.
It's the song and dance of art. And learning art. And stealing. Good artists steal. That they don't trace, they just steal.
Yes. Alright. We got no more art to do. Anyone got art they would like to throw at us? Any questions they have for us? Any art they've previously been working on that they think they finished, but they're like, you know what? Maybe I'm not quite sure about this one.
We got an art.
From a brick in a wall. All in all.
Man, the delay must be, non-existent today.
This picture.
Oh, sorry. Drop something.
Ooh, what you say? Alright.
Ooh, what you say?
Let me just save this and bring it up. Hey, Allie, I got a question for you while I do this.
What was that?
What song stuck in your head?
I've had, at least 7 songs get stuck and unstuck in the span of this, stream.
Nice.
And most of them I have you to blame for, so...
My goal is complete. I've come from the past to stick stongs in your head. Stongs.
We also have 2 more people requesting art critique in the voice chat channel of the MLPDS Discord server, which you all should join if you have not already.
You should all totally join. I see one picture in there.
Q Pencil Case also said something.
Oh.
Oh. Doesn't need to be in stream. Didn't read that part. Should probably read the whole sentence. Might be helpful.
It can totally be in the stream if you want, because it's easier. Ponk. Alright, we got a ponk. A non-ponk.
Ponk. Wait, a ponk? I don't see a ponk. I see Fluttershy.
A non-ponk.
Oh, yeah. Just clicked in my head. The voice actress being the same person.
That's totally what I meant. I swear I was being clever. Yes.
Damn it. I saved you.
Alright. So, we noticed there is some critique on this picture on the subreddit already. What questions do you have that weren't answered in that critique? Words. Oh, they have done more modifications of it. I just looked at their original picture and then this version. They've done a lot of modifications of it. Alright, well, the proportions between the 2 ponies are a little bit different. For instance, Applejack can basically sit inside of Fluttershy's eye.
It's a big pony, that's all.
She definitely ate all of her Wheaties.
What if it's like NC Mares' Big Ponies, Applejack? Wait, who's doing the Big Pony Applejack comic?
NC
Tumblr
Mares?
thing? Is it NC Mares?
I think it is.
Oh, well then, what if that is the Big Pony Applejack? We just have a bigger pony, Fluttershy.
And they also have the ponies that are dressed up like boats.
Boats. Yeah, that's their newest, the thing they've been doing. Alright, so I just have a slight critique on the legs. We kind of lose thickness. It kind of goes both directions. Like the leg closest to the viewer, the one kind of like standing straighter, is a bit thicker, and the one farther away that's near the cliff face is thinner. So I would just be careful of that. It's also a lot longer than the one you have closer to the viewer. This really just can be solved by remembering proportions and undersketching. Lots of good undersketching with references, just to remember the lengths of stuff. I know the back leg can be hard, but you can do something like what I did, which was, draw the full thing behind her. It's gonna look odd, but it's good to get the shape in. So, just things to keep in mind.
You know what else you should keep in mind? That we have an Aggie going on. And we totally accept people drawing pictures into the Aggie.
Really? Really? We do that?
Yeah.
Hiccup, excuse me.
We take art bribes in there too.
One critique for one drawing.
We've done that deal before. I don't know why we don't do it more.
Hold everyone hostage.
Exactly.
No critique for you.
The blue you've used up on the main here, it seems like it washes out compared to the blues you've been using over here and the purples. In fact, this bit of the mane just seems a whole lot less refined than what you have up on top and on the back. I might just go back into there and try and shore up some of the gorgeous, luscious colors you have on the top and bring it on over to the side. Same as under. Because you got these nice, gorgeous purple or pinks right in here. Right up here. Yeah. They should carry over to here and the rest of the mane too.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, the legs still go in the water. Sorry, I'm just responding to what they said in the Picarto.
Mm-hmm.
The leg will still go in the water. It's still a bit off from what I said.
All right, and that's all about a gut. Yeah, I did a little adjustment to make the jaw pull out more. Because if you're going to spend the time drawing in the or putting the fidelity into the shading and all that, I don't see why you would stick with like a 2D muzzle thrown onto a 3D face.
Mm-hmm.
I've also fixed up the nostrils a bit because yours in there are circles, and they're actually these slots that go downwards on an angle. Sort of sweep out. Just trying to remove a little of the pig face that might be formed from that. Any further questions on this one? Because it's looking great. I'm liking your use of colors. Well, stuff is muddy, like the background and all that. It's all working together because everything else is in the same sort of status. You don't have things that are highly refined and then other bits that aren't.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the annoying parts of art. Everything has to be sort of the same.
So you say the eyes seem off. Let's see.
I'll just be one moment, Allie.
Go for it. So I'm playing with the eye sizes. Get my ovals. Obviously, that's not the final thing, but it's nice to draw, just the ovals to get everything into place. I think mainly the eye furthest away, the one that's like not falling off the face. The one that like it gets smaller as it's curved around her face because heads are weird. That one I feel like doesn't quite start near the nose where the other one sort of does. Like if we draw the bridge of the nose, usually the eye falls right next to it. So that's just something to be aware of. Just bring it closer to the nose bridge. Little arrow there to point. Otherwise, I don't really have much complaint. They both seem to be staring at the right place, so I'm okey pokey there too. I would just be careful of when you're doing, your under sketching. You find your head circle, and then so we want her looking up a little bit, so we'll draw the line. Boom, boom. I'll do that in red so you can see that better. Boom. And then I. And never be afraid to use guidelines to line things up. Like, I made the eyebrow here too small, or the eyelid, I mean. So, like, I was like, I'll do a little line, see where everything's falling. Oh, I should move this eyebrow up a little bit, or the eyelid. And just, feel free to play with it. Figure out where things will sit, how far off the face they'll go, how far the face will be turned. All that fun art stuff. Yeah, I feel like the eye could be moved over to say somewhere like here. Hope that makes sense.
I'm back.
So, my suggestion with yellow in general is really, really hard. Everyone has a hard time with yellow. Even the people who seem like they have all the art knowledge in the world. It's impossible because art never ends, but yellow is hard, and I'll say the key with yellow, less is more. It's already a high value color. It sits very high up the saturation. So less is more with yellow. When you think you need to go as dark as you did with the hair, really, if you look at it, it will look pretty much just as dark with a lighter shadow. So I would just play with it, see what feels right. If it feels too dark, then and also too green, play with that. Make it, closer to yellow or maybe orange. Play with the colors, see where the saturations and values are. Play with the hue maybe. If something feels off, then odds are have fun playing with and seeing if you can fix that. Because there's, like I said, there's 1,002 different ways to do something in art. But yellow in general, like a rule of thumb, not exactly like a rule, but kind of those one of those things like you can consider doing when you run into a situation is less is more. Just because yellow's already so light, it's so easy to muck up and make greener or have another color take over, like how you say it looks more green. So yeah, play with it. That's. I wish I could give like an exact color guide, but like I said, it's all dependent on the environment and what you want to do, and like there's so many things, there's so many options. I don't want to like close you off to one option that I tell you. I just really want to say play with it. If it feels wrong, then do something different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay.
Friendship.
It's one of the harder things about critique. It's like you want to give help, but you know that just because you say it doesn't mean it's the right way to do things. And I know I'm nowhere near right. I'm still learning myself, and I can only share what I learn, and people can only share to me what they learn, and blah blah blah
Ba, 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 da, ba, ba.
blah blah blah. Just know there's more than what critique is. Take everyone's critique with a grain of salt, but get as much critique as you can and get much inspiration as you can from all over. Don't ever just stick to what one person says.
Alright, shall we move on to the next one then?
They say they wanted a Misty Sea Point vibe. Any tip on how to keep that with the pony's color?
Misty Sea Point.
I would look up references of Misty Sea Points and see what kind of colors are used.
Oh, Misty Sea Port.
Oh, port.
Oh.
My bad.
Yeah, mist. Mist literally hangs in the air. If it's a truly like heavy misty port, you're gonna actually see the mist hanging around Fluttershy, even at that close a distance.
Mm-hmm. Well, considering how big she is, it's not really that close a distance.
Oh yeah, yeah, you're right. I mean, look how small AJ is.
I would actually consider looking up oil paintings. Like, a lot of oil painters and painters in general, they love to paint storms. They love to paint oceans. Look around for oil paintings just because your colors you're using and how they're using them kind of remind me of oil painting, just with like the stark contrasts. Yeah, I would look around at those, really get those references and get lots of them. See how people approach, harbors and, what are they called? Lighthouses. Yeah. People love to paint lighthouses.
Miss. That's... So I searched Misty Islands, and I got a lot of Thomas the Tank Engine things come up. But, in a weird crossover, there's a Thomas the Tank Engine being reviewed by a pony. Now
you gotta share.
we've gone full circle here, guys. All right. So, next picture is by Corin. Corin, you there, buddy?
Aye.
All right.
Hello.
Questions about this picture. We've seen it tossed up in the art discussion on our channel. Is there any further questions you have that are bugging you about this picture? That hasn't been answered by...
reflection on the bottom half of Applejack, and I would just like a general opinion of the background.
So the reflection as in the reflected light?
Or the reflecting light, yeah.
Oh. It's not bad. I think it's gone more shadow than reflected light because it's not actually brighter than the subject. Would you agree?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
All right. So if you're trying to do the reflected light of that blue, you're going to have to do additive instead of subtractive, if you get what I mean. That blue is going to have to be lighter than this, or at least the same lightness as the source to pull it off. If you're using the overlay, overlay functionality, it might work for you there. Alternatively, I think the lightness function might work better, but I'm not quite sure because it works differently between Photoshop and Clip Studio Paint and Psy.
Okay. My biggest issue was just trying to find a way to balance the colors in general, because I would either get these really hard, bright blues that didn't make sense on the red costume, or I would just get a non-existent color that just didn't show up.
So luckily, colors do exist between blue and red, and it tends to be a purple, based on what a color wheel is. So this is your addition between the two. So we have the reflected blue meets that wonderful red. Light meets, and we get a sort of pink, purpley going on there. That would be the reflected light that you should be going for instead of trying to paint blue onto them.
Okay.
Now, your background. It works. It's kind of minimal and kind of boring, but I mean, so is the entire room that they're in. That room is so boring and so cold. I would want to throw down some carpets, stick up some nice blinds, something soft, because if you farted in that room, it would echo for months. It's just hard surfaces everywhere. No, but really, it's such a hard and boring room.
Yeah, it's very, everything has a hard edge. It's all crystal, crystal, crystal. Chairs are square. Table is round.
Yeah. Which seems so unlike MLP. Even the Crystal Palace, like the original Crystal Palace, not the Crystal Palace Tree Fort.
That's what this is based on.
Yeah. It's the original Crystal Palace was soft. It had these great flowing shapes to it. It looked like something elves would have built. This one looks like something they grew out of a science set.
Bring back Golden Oaks!
Bring back Golden Oaks is right.
Trees just are so much more natural and flowy, and just there was so much loveliness about that place.
It was warm and...
Shed a tear.
Can that be the actual thing? This has all just been a hallucination from Twilight. Like she got bonked in the head during that Turek fight.
Nothing really happened. Starlight is a figment of her imagination.
All right.
Anyway, so trying to think what we could do to make it more fun, and it's I love the crystal texture you got going with like different hues and saturations of blue going on. It gives it a little more pop, definitely. Trying to think if there's anything we can do elsewise. I mean, maybe you could do an artistic interpretation of the chairs and have them also like billow down with like crystal pedestal attachments to the ground, something like that. Silly.
That's an idea.
Yeah, just something, it's fan art already, so why not bussy up what the show gives us?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think what else. I think, I don't know. What else do you think, Zom?
That pillow seems very flat. Like if we look how the body's going, her arm's not propped up. The pillow we do see a little rolled down, but it doesn't actually. Yeah, what Allie has done just by overlaying or giving some overlap to the horse, suddenly it becomes poofy. Overlap is wonderful for giving poofy, especially on soft surfaces. I think I'd even go as far as just completely burying her elbow in it.
True dat. Let her floop into that pillow. She is one with the pillow.
Mm-hmm. Good night, Air Island.
Nighty night.
And that's all about I got for here.
Yeah, I'd say it's good stuff. Playing with different colors like we talked with earlier. Maybe just a little poof up on the pillow. Maybe some more exciting attachments to the chair, because sadly Twilight's chairs are pretty boring. She got gypped on the chair. She should have went to Pier 1.
This is what happens when you go to IKEA and just get the base models.
The base model for the Crystal Castle set.
Yeah. Now it is a beer cozy. All right. Next.
I believe the cute of the pencil cases.
This one's gonna. Oops. There it goes.
Zom, that's not a beer cozy. That's a plushie cozy. You get a little plushie.
Is it gonna get a plushie? Yes.
Small plush. Sup?
Okay, I'm back.
Back in
Welcome
black.
back.
We actually have nothing more to say on your picture. Do you have any further questions?
Not really. I think that's about all I needed to know.
All right.
Awesome. Nice work.
Thanks.
Whoa, this is a big picture. A big, exciting picture. That cake looks so delicious.
Yeah, I want it. I just want that cake right now. And there's so many things about this picture that I'm really, really loving. This horse is actually looking at that horse. This horse is looking over at this horse. Whoop. This, oh my gosh, it's nuzzled in there. Into the fluff.
Yeah, fluff. The cute fluff. So much good. So much pure pone. Good pure ponies.
I swear she must have just bought an Oreo cake just to draw it here.
I would have call it references and Make it a tax deductible thing.
Tax deductible.
I needed a reference. It's for commission. It was for work. Tax deductible cake. Come on.
Now, I know you said there's nothing about the poses that you really want to alter. There is some weirdness for the next one, though. The bodies are very interesting, very animated, but it also makes me wonder how the heck they got to that position. Because Twilight's body is like, her hip is thrown way up in the air, and it's almost like she just did a barrel roll to get here, so she just went like top of the image and poof, roll right around. And
Listen, I got a story for you. They're all jumping in on a giant hug pile. This is like the snap before they all collide and hug.
oh, this is going to be a lot of headbutts. And there's
Yep.
there's far too much horn to do that. Think of safe horn practice. We've already talked about this. Corks on horn. It's the only way to make this
Corks on
safe.
horn. Could you imagine, like, that's a thing for unicorn, like, get-togethers? They have to wear their, like, corks on their horns?
Like, just even in general public. We'll just make it a
Well, no.
fashion accessory.
See, every time, oh, that's it. That's like a new headcanon. Whenever they have to go to a bar and they're drinking cider, they have to wear a cork. It's like giving up your keys, but you put a cork on your horn just in case you get a little too tipsy and knock someone. You're welcome. You're welcome.
It was beautiful.
That's new bar etiquette for unicorns. Done. You're welcome, show. I hope you use it.
But we've already seen them line up to get smashed.
Exactly. They get a cork now with it because they got sued last year.
It was horrible. 12 ponies died.
But yeah, anyway, is there anything in particular you wanted critiqued with this? I'm sorry if I missed something. Was there anything said?
Yeah, they actually did say something. Sorry. Can't really change poses. If there's some problem with the shadows or something, they can still add.
I don't really have any problems. If anything, I'd say out of all of them, Twilight seems to have the darkest shadows. I don't know if it's just because she's purple, because purple tends to always lean to the darker and cooler. I would say maybe like twinge her shadows down just a smidge to match everyone else's shadows, maybe then. But I really don't have that much of an opinion. Because I'm trying to think, like, would it be better to bring, not down, like, I'm trying to think, maybe turn down the opacity of your shadow layers for also, like, the front and Twilight, so it feels brighter overall, like a bright, happy scene, where, like, you kind of have heavy shadows on the presents and the cake, so it feels, like, a little more dark and depressing. Like, if I just cut the cake off by itself, it looks like a sad, dark cake. It's still delicious, though, and I'd want to eat it, but, like, I picture that kind of lighting if I was sitting in a room by myself eating the cake by myself. But I would totally do that. The cake looks so good. That's just like this. That could be nitpicky of me to say, but like that's something you could do to push the overall. But also, the idea of the darker fronts kind of bring the attention to the happy backs. So it could be played with either way. Really, that's just kind of like me spitballing ideas, trying to see if there's really anything.
Seeing if any of them stick.
Maybe the wall back there, you could have darkness in the creases because shadows tend to gather where the wall hits the floor. Let's see. You fixed it.
Did you just select the Twilight and Uppets?
What do you think, Sam?
Sorry, are you meaning on the the one that she just posted, or what do I think overall?
Well, yeah, of the changes and overall.
The changes are pretty good. Yeah, yeah, I think that'll work. As far as overall, well, I've already said I really like some elements. I did have some questions about how they're flowing, but you came up with a pretty good excuse. God, that's a fluffy pony. Imagine how
Good
much
fluff. Top quality fluff.
Twilight must use a different product than the rest of these ponies, because she doesn't have the fluff the rest of them have.
Oh, good call, good call.
And I wouldn't notice that if I wasn't staring at it for like 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm. This is the nitty picky, critiquey wiki.
Okay, we're done. We're done. We're no longer.
I haven't been functioning all stream. I don't know what you're talking about. Even, words and phrases. Yeah, I'm doing it right.
Allie, have you been hitting the sauce?
I've been hitting the sauce. It's called chocolate sauce, and it goes in my milk to make chocolate milk.
Salami shit. Are you just pouring the chocolate sauce glaze into your mouth and pouring milk into it and mixing it inside your mouth?
It's like that Pinkie Pie image where she's like, "Witness me," and then like sprays whipped cream into her mouth.
That image, I can only imagine, ends with whipped cream coming out of the nose and ears.
In true cartoon fashion. Oh, good. Good use of correction layers, CPC. I'll need to play with correction layers more often. I've never really used them or tried it. Whoa.
That was my foot.
R.I.P. Your foot fall off?
No, I was playing with the laser pointer and I snapped the band that it was attached to, and it just smacked my foot. I wasn't playing with the hatchet this time, so.
You wanna hear something annoying?
Sure.
Okay.
It sounds like Ratchet.
What is it?
Allie, what is that?
My mom sent me those teeth that you can wind up and they just clank and they like move across your desk. It's so annoying, but I can't stop winding it up.
Alright. Hey Allie, you want to hear something annoying?
Sure. What is our lives?
I don't know anymore.
Oh God. Why do you people just deal with us?
I don't know why they come every time.
Yeah, we're quality entertainment. The Slap Shop.
That's exactly why you come.
The Slap Shop remix is golden.
Alright, well, we don't have any more art being submitted towards our face holes.
Yeah, and I got really no issues. I think don't overwork yourself. I think you did a good job. Put it out there in the world and make more ponies. But you're good at making more ponies, so it's like I'm not really worried about that.
And we definitely need some more art drawn on our Aggie.
Yes.
So my suggestion is everyone who's in the stream who submitted art should hop onto the Aggie and draw art.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Draw
Yeah?
on the Aggie. Oh, Cute Pencil Case is trying to take Stranger's job.
Ah, there you go.
Nightmare ponies.
We are missing a certain theme that we've been keeping with, though.
What's that?
Where's the Raritato? Where's the
Nightmare
Nightmare
Raritato!
Raritato?
Ah! I should redo one of my Raritatoes to be the Nightmare Raritato.
Yeah, you
Nightmare
should.
Raritato.
I. That'd be an interesting project.
Give her smoky eyes. Is last chance for all those watching the stream?
Bueller.
Bueller? Everyone watching should just totally draw on the Aggie. It's good for you. It's good for your health, I hear. 9 out of 10 doctors say you should draw on the Aggie because it adds benefits to
Health.
shiny hair,
Yes.
a good coat. It's like mane and tail. Sponsored by Mane and Tail. The horse shampoo for humans.
Hey, Allie.
Yeah?
You know your Mrs. Potato Head Unicorn?
Yeah?
Because that's the actual name of it. It's not a Raritato.
It's a Raritato and you can't tell me otherwise.
You know it has an entire set to it?
Yeah, there's like only like there's like a princess fairy godmother and like all the weirdness. All the weirdness. But obviously mine is Rarity and a Tato.
Yeah.
You gonna buy the rest? You gonna mix and match, make a centaur Raritato with a magic wand?
I'll be honest, I was really hoping I could order some off Amazon, but it seems like that's not a thing.
Oh. Yeah, my friend had to get them direct from Hasbro.
Oh my god. That's a whole lot of effort.
Centaur Tato. It's actually the image on the back. I wish I had the packaging still. I think I threw them all out. But one of the images on the back is someone mixing and matching of the rarity parts with like hands with like a wand, and it's like majestically prancing along the back with like fan art of itself.
Really?
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find the packaging. It's like on the back.
Oh, you can... Huh. That sounds magical.
Come on, show me the back of the package.
Nope, that joke's just not worth it. Not at all. I was gonna go order one of the Mr. Potato Head unicorns. How much do you think the shipping is to Canada?
$30.
You are right. It is $30.99.
Oh
So
my
for
God.
the $3.99 potato head, you have to pay $30 extra just to get it there.
Jesus Christ. I'll just give you one of mine at BronyCon. And there's the Centaur Princess Rarity.
I don't. Why? Why is it so expensive to ship it? That's not even express shipping.
Hasbro is cruel. Well, that's weird. No, Hasbro is not in Canada. That's the
We have the
animation companies.
yeah.
Yeah. Cube Pencil Case. I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing.
It's a great
I think
thing.
a little both.
Pretty much the best thing.
What a precious world we live in. Such sillies.
I wonder if all those Mr. Potato Head ones are the same. Like it's a series of them, right?
There's 4, I believe. Yeah, there's 4 of them. I think they're meant to be swapped and popped.
Well, no, there's like 30 some odd Mr. Potato Head series.
Oh, I guess it depends on the size, but yeah. I believe they're all as exchangeable as they possibly can be.
Alright. Well, seeing as no one else is throwing art at us, we're going to call this the end of the stream. We had our good long talk about potatoes and potato-related objects.
It's truly what they came here for.
Yeah. So long, everyone, and thanks for all the taters.
Thanks for all the fish.